I felt like we just had such a good laugh that we don't want to say anything else anymore.
We're like, just not ruin that.
Yeah, that's that. Just sit in the
vibe.
silence and just enjoy the good times. How are you, dude?
I'm good. I'm a grandmother now.
Congratulations.
I have what's it? Granddogs.
Granddogs, yeah.
Granddogs.
Little grandpuppies.
Yeah. They're so cute, so beautiful. There's one I want to keep so bad. We call him Ratita because he's the smallest one of the bunch.
Yeah.
And he like low-key almost died on us, but like we bonded because I helped him like drink formula, and then I helped him start suckling so that he can suck Nairobi's titty. And then when I like just seeing him like finally be able to grab like the boobie by himself.
Yeah.
Just like, oh.
Shout out to Ratita.
Yeah. So there's Ratita, there's Vaquita because it looks like a Vaquita.
Okay.
We have Nairobi Jr. because there's one that looks like her. And then we have Pinto Bean 1, Pinto Bean 2. Because they look like little pinto beans. So,
I love that.
Yeah. So
love the little
we
pintos.
love them, but yeah, they're a hassle. They're like a lot. We didn't realize how much work it was going to be. Because, okay, one, we had a C-section scheduled for this Thursday.
Oh, but did she give natural birth?
Yes. So on Thursday night, all Thursday morning, last Thursday, all morning, like afternoon, evening, she was just like by herself in the closet. And so I knew like right away, I was like, Seva, she's getting close because she's been like alone all day.
Hiding, yeah.
Yeah, and she's breathing heavier than usual. I mean, she didn't want to eat, whatever. So then I was like, I think she's getting closer. But then Sevas got home, and then she started acting normal. And so we're like, okay, it'll be fine. But I told Sevas, I was like, hey, just so you know, the internet says, like, once they start panting, it means that they're, like, in labor. So just watch out for that. And so Sevas kind of takes care of her at night, takes her to the bathroom and stuff. And she was very, like, incómoda. She was trying to move around too much. She was trying to go outside and poop, but she couldn't. But in reality, it was pushing. And so then Sebas woke me up and he's like, look, she's doing it, like, panting. He was so scared, like, oh my God, God bless his heart. He was so nervous. He thought, like, Nairobi was gonna die. Like, he was just thinking the worst. He was shaking. He's like, I really need to poop. I'm like, bro, you're just nervous. Like, relax. I was like, you wanted to do this. Don't be scared. Come on, we gotta do this. So we laid out towels. And I told her, I was like, it's okay, you're going to push and you're going to be fine. So literally within minute, like not even 5 minutes passed, and the one baby was out. Like she pushed and the baby was hanging. Yep. And she just plopped him up, popped him on the towels, and then went back to the closet. I'm like, girl, you got to lick him. You got to stimulate him. You can't just leave him there. Like,
she's like, peace.
Yeah. So then I grabbed the towel and I started like rubbing him and stuff so he could cry, or her, and then she could cry. And that was Vaquita.
Vaquita.
And so then Pinto Bean 1 and then Pinto Bean 2 came, and then one that unfortunately died, but it was like another Nairobi Jr. and then Nairobi Jr. and then Ratita. So it was just like they're so beautiful. But it was crazy, like seeing a dog give birth. I'm just like, fuck. Like, that's crazy.
That is wild, dude.
I mean, I know like humans give birth too, but like just to see it, like to go through it with a dog that you love so much,
right, is
just like, I don't know, I just love her so much. I'm just like, you're always gonna be my baby even if you have kids. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be wild.
Yeah,
so. Like I couldn't imagine like when my daughter eventually has children.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so strange.
It is, yeah. And like imagine it's just like an animal, but imagine like an actual human being that you birthed. Well,
I didn't birth Rocio.
Bessie birthed them, but like, you know, it's like,
I was involved for like a minute and a half of that process, dude. It's like that Bernie Mac joke. It's like sex is only 50 pumps, and it's like count it if you don't have nothing to do. And I was like, true. Yeah, man. I remember when Rocio was born. My father-in-law was there, so he was there with us in the room, and so I know that was a very powerful experience for him to see his daughter give birth. You know, and that's his baby girl, like his firstborn.
I'm getting emotional. You know? That's so cute.
Yeah. So it was a very powerful experience for him.
Aww.
And by that time, I was already an expert. I was like, whatever, dude. I was just drinking beers in the back. No. But, yeah, man. It's such a vulnerable state, right? They describe it as, like, walking the line between life and death. And you, like, they say, you know, that women go into death and they pull life out.
Oh my
you know?
God, that's so beautiful.
And so it's a very vulnerable position to be in, and that men will never really understand. But it's powerful.
Yeah, it sucks though that you guys can't understand it because I know what it feels like. So it's like it's just so beautiful. It's such a beautiful experience to have, and so I think like for men to not be able to have that, it sucks. But I think you guys have it in a different way, you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. It's like it's like undescribable.
Yeah. I can't wait for modern science to allow me to have birth. No.
Allow you to be pregnant.
Yeah, I'm gonna be pregnant immediately, bro. I'm gonna have Betsy's babies. No, like that's like, how many Plan B pills we have in our house right now, just because we don't want another baby at this moment.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Those fuck you up though.
I heard that they do.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I had to buy one. I didn't even I remember when I was it was the first person I ever had sex with. I think it was like the third or fourth time we had done it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the condom just popped off.
Oh no.
I wasn't wearing the right size condoms then. And I just flew inside of her body. And I had to dig it out, and with my hands I don't know what to do. And I was in there, and I was pulling it out and freaking the fuck out. And I was yeah, but because the condom, I know I didn't finish, but maybe there was one sperm in there, and now you're pregnant. And then I was and I was 18, 19. So I'm working some bullshit job, and I have 50, it's $50.
Yeah, dude, it's a lot of money.
And $50 back then, I was I got no money. This is all my spending money, dude.
Yeah.
Plan B pills.
Yeah.
That's funny, but it was worth every cent.
No, yeah. When you're not ready for that.
Hell no, dude.
I've drank a few in my.
Drank a few, just in a cocktail. What the fuck? With the straw.
And they're so small too. They're so small, but they're very powerful.
Yeah, that's just like me, dude. Shout out to all my small kings.
Micro penises.
Micro penises, bro. Micro penis. Micro bladed. Micro penis.
Aww. Is that actually a thing?
What, micro penises?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a condition?
Yeah.
Wow, that sucks.
You actually use the actual term to describe them.
Oh, okay.
So did you just not know how did you know the name without?
I knew the name because I was watching this show, and this guy was just do you know the show New Girl? Zoe Deschanel's in it. Yeah. So she's basically her roommates are just of course you look at a person's a person's looks too. Everything looks matter, not just personality. And she's you guys are so superficial. None of that matters to me. Just personality. You just have to be fun, whatever. So then this guy, super hot guy, right, comes and, whatever, they're flirting and they're gonna, eventually have sex. And he's but I have to tell you something. I have a micro penis. She's okay, I can make that work. And so then she realizes that superficial things do matter sometimes.
You think that micro penis is superficial, or is it because it's also functional? Because it's not about how it looks necessarily. Because if it looked the same, if it looked one way but it felt really good, then it wouldn't be a problem.
I mean, I guess you're gonna know this question. I'm just do you think it feels good though?
Well,
a little nub.
That's what I'm saying though. But what I'm saying, that's the problem, right? It's not superficial.
Oh, right. The problem
because
is
the functionality is not there.
Yeah, you're right.
But there are little penises. I know there was a Howard Stern contest where they invited a bunch of the radio host, radio DJ.
Oh, okay.
Invited a bunch of people to have the world's smallest penis contest. So all these dudes showed up and they had the smallest little nubbies ever. It's so as big as the top part of my thumb. You know what I mean? Little peepees. And forget about if these guys were big fat guys, because then it's just the fat's over it. So there's you're just puntitos or nada.
Oh my God.
No parece nada.
That's so sad.
Yeah, but there was one guy that won, and he won only because he was super confident
about it.
Yeah, he was he knew what was up.
Yeah.
He was yeah, it was fine.
I wonder what he does. What do you do when you're in that situation? How do you do you feel any? I mean, I'm sure they probably feel something, but like, do you think the women that they're with feel anything?
I don't, maybe some women are into that.
Maybe. Is that like a fetish?
I mean, everything's a fetish,
That's
bro.
true.
Everything's a fetish, dude. Like, I no doubt in my mind, there's someone out there like, yeah,
love
micro.
microwaves.
Yeah, I love my jelly beans, dude.
My little frijolitos.
My little frijolitos. Come over, dude. Be my rice and beans.
Oh, man, no.
Remember there was a girl that flirted with me and she like wanted to like was hitting me up about like all these weird, like dropping all these weird hints that like she wanted to do it.
Uh-huh.
And I was just like, nah, dude, like you don't want to do it with me. Like my penis is as big as a grain of rice. And, yeah, just trying to just like, instead of just deliberately just saying no,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just like, you know, I feel guys are uncomfortable with just saying no to women, just outright, like out flat, like
Really?
rejecting them. I don't know. Do you like, I feel like it's easier for a woman to reject a man than it is for a
That's
man to reject a
true.
woman.
Well, yeah, I think it is easier for a woman to reject a man because nobody's going to judge her for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, yeah, that's true. I think if you're a guy and you reject a woman, I think it also depends on how you do it. But like,
Yeah.
but yeah, you're kind of seen as like an asshole,
Kind of.
right? But like, but it's like that's not an asshole thing to do because it's just like you don't like them.
No, yeah. I had someone else hit me up the other day on my socials. I posted up a selfie to promote the show, and this guy hits me up and he's like, "You're a cutie," and I was like, "Thanks, my guy." Big ups.
Thanks, friend.
Yeah, thanks, dude. My man. Thanks, my guy.
That's
Dudes be shooting their shots, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, men shoot shots.
yeah.
Women don't need to shoot shots.
That's true. You're right.
Did you ever shoot your shot at anybody?
Yeah.
I know you sabotaged a relationship that Sebas had with someone, but I don't know if that counts as shooting a shot.
I shot my shot. Like,
No, you shot her, bro. Yeah. And scooped
No
up
aguanto?
Sebas. Yeah, no, they want though.
What?
Fuck.
Is that my fault?
I love it.
No, I don't know. I mean, Sebas has been the only guy I've been with, so that's like the only time I ever did it. I think before then I was just like too young to like really do anything.
Oh, to be flirting.
Yeah, to be flirting. I think I'm like naturally flirtatious.
Yeah, true, me
but
too.
I don't like, but that doesn't mean I like you.
Yeah. It just means I want something from you. I flirt, I get free McDonald's. I flirt, I get free Starbucks.
No, because sometimes I just smile at people or guys. I smile and they're just like,
Yeah, because you don't smile at bitches, bro.
oh my God, there's this tortilla guy from Milagro that delivers the tortillas to talk about it.
Yeah.
And when I worked there, he would come in. He was always really scruffy and just dirty. He like looked dirty, like like.
My man's like dealing in masa all day, poor thing.
No, but I mean, there's people that look cleaned up when they work, even if they're sweating, But this guy would like come in sweating, like his hands were always dirty, and like you could tell like his face was dirty, and then like his hair was like not peinado, like no gel in it, nothing. He would always have a cap like that on, so like his like curls would pop out, but he had like more. Talking about Richard, guys.
Yeah.
No.
His name is Richard. He smells like shit. He's an asshole.
No, and so like he had like a big afro of curly hair, and then he would always come in and he'd be like, "Hi Jesse, ¿cómo estás?" Like just like acting just weird, like just being like how do I say
a gentleman?
No, how do I say like when people are so nice because you know that they like you, and it's just like off-putting because it's just like.
Yeah, especially when they're like everyone else is just like they don't really deal with them in that way.
Yeah.
And then it's just like outside of their personality.
Yeah, it's just like overconfident. Like I don't know what he was doing. Like he was just being overly nice.
He was
and
trying
to
court you.
Exactly, but it was too much. So it was just like, dude, chill. Like relax.
And he's like,
not that I would even.
Shout out to all my scruffy kings over here, dude.
But he at some point he like was so he always wanted a tamarindo, like a drink. So I would always just right away give it to him and just be like, all right, shoo, leave. And then
Shoo.
at one point,
Like a
I was
dog.
waitressing a table, and he was just there by the aguas, and I was like, "What the fuck is he doing?" Like,
Waiting for his tamarindo.
yeah, and
For
so
you to serve it to
and
him.
that's what I thought, right? So I go and I'm just like, "I'm sorry, I'll get your tamarindo really fast." So I start pouring it down, and he's like, "No, that's not what I wanted. I just wanted to talk to you really quickly." And I was like, "Yes."
What did
And
he say?
he's like, "I was just wondering if you wanted to go out with me," like in Spanish, right? But like, just wondering if you wanted to go out with me, and I was like, "I'm married." And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I just like, you're just really beautiful." And I was just like, "Yeah." All right. I was like, "Yeah, sorry. Too bad."
Yeah.
Bye.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, so he was trying
See,
to.
I could never be that cold and cruel.
I just didn't. I was like, dude, I don't like you. Don't you know that I don't like? And I know I'm mean. Like, I can be really, really mean when it comes to that kind of stuff, especially when it comes to like guys like trying to hit on me. I don't enjoy it if I don't like you.
It's a beauty privilege,
dude. It's
now.
So
If he was
mean.
very handsome, it would be a very different
Of course,
story.
it would.
It'd be
I'm
a
not
very
even gonna lie about it.
I'm sorry, I'm married. I think you're really cool too. I can give you an extra tamarindo if you don't mind. I'm so sorry.
That's all I can give you.
It's so awkward. Oh my god. Boo, 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 boo.
Why are you so salty?
Cause basically you described him as like you basically used all my features as his for like the beginning to describe him. So I'm like, I feel for this guy. Well, anyway, but like it's funny because I've like said no to women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you're
There's,
probably nice about it because you're like
I was
really
like,
nice.
no, I only want to be friends.
This guy, I was just like, no, just get out of my face forever. Don't ever talk to me again.
That's wild, dude. I've been rejected by women. I remember like I went to a party once and there was this beautiful woman. I asked, hey, do you want to dance? She's like, I have a boyfriend. And I was like, okay.
Do you want to dance?
Yeah. That's not what I fucking asked, but it's cool. You don't know how to dance. He don't let you dance, girl. I'll let you dance if you become my girl. No, but
yeah, like I had that conversation once with Siva. I was just like, all right, if you're not gonna dance with me, is it okay if when somebody asks me to dance,
like,
is it okay
no.
if I can dance? And obviously,
He said
that's
no.
like uncomfortable. No, I wouldn't want him to dance with somebody else either. So it's just like, all right, then you gotta put your big boy panties on and you gotta move
Big
those
boy
hips.
panties.
Gotta move them little
Big
hips.
boy panties. Ooh. Speaking of big boy panties, my Betsy, I was here in the studio yesterday doing some work, and Betsy sends me a text message. She's like, oh, Gadi wants these shoes. And I'm like, are those girl shoes? And he's like, yeah. Like little purple gym shoes.
Oh, okay.
And I thought to myself, okay, I can either, like, I get why he likes them because they're cool and they're like shiny.
Yeah.
But there's like some pink and some like green and some purple, and I was just like, just fucking let it. I was running it through my head. I was like, should I just let him get it? Because my thought is, my fear is like, okay, he's gonna get rejected.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Or people are gonna make fun of him. But wouldn't I rather just those people make fun of him than me to stop him from expressing himself? And if he fucking rocks it, then
yeah, imagine.
Yeah. It's like years of trauma were dealt in that moment.
Oh yeah, but that's so true because it's like it's just they're just shoes and he likes the color. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't know that it's a girl shoe.
Right.
He's not looking at it and it's just like, oh, it's a girl shoe. He's looking at like, I like how this looks.
This looks badass.
Yeah.
And apparently one of his friends, he's like, oh, my friend Victor has these shoes. And a part of me was like, I don't think Victor has these shoes.
I think they just look like
yeah. But we'll see. We'll find out.
Yeah.
He brought them today.
Oh, to school?
Yeah, to school. And he like thanked me. He was so happy that I was like, thanks for letting me get them. And I was like, yeah, no problem, dude.
Oh my gosh. That's so cute.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, sweeties. Yeah, but man, but I think women can be mean about rejection.
They can, yeah.
And I think they have to be very careful because sometimes there's some crazy dudes. Yeah, there's some crazy dudes out there too.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then that's another thing too. Like for example, on the street. Like, okay, so one time, not even on the street. I went to like a Spanish rock concert.
Nice.
One time.
Who was playing?
Caifanes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it was at El Aragon.
Okay.
And I went with Melly and her tia. And it was my first year of college. And so, we're going, whatever. We're all women. And this guy keeps looking at, like, all of us, like, up and down. Like, with no, like, just...
There's no disregard.
No,
just
just whatever. Like, he, with the audacity to just look up and down and, like, stare at us, right? And, like, and so at this time, I'm looking at him, like, literally making eye contact, and he's, like, still looking at me up and down and, like, doing all these things. And so, like...
You gave him eye contact?
Yeah, because I like, eye contact, like, looking at him, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Really? Okay, show me that look.
No.
Show me that mean look.
Do that.
No, because I want to know, because all I'm saying, like, I'm just saying as a guy,
Yeah.
if I'm looking at a woman up and down and then she just keeps maintaining eye contact with me, I think that she likes me.
That's so dumb, though. Like,
But that it depends on the face that you make. Because also you, who I've never seen do a mean face, is probably looking at him like pouting. Don't look at me. And I'm just like, yo, this is my fucking opening door.
But anyway, so I didn't just look at him. Then, so I'm looking at him, right? And then I stick up the middle finger. So I give him the finger. And then he comes up to me.
I'm fucking peleonera, dude.
I know. Well, I was just like, well, let me see if he likes this. If he wants to look at me up and down, then I'll give him something to look at up and down.
Okay.
So then he came up to me. He's like, why did you do that to me? Yeah.
What a piece of shit.
No, like, straight up in my face. And right. And so then Melly and her tia, like, are thinking that, like, this guy's just joking around with me, that I know him. Like, And so I'm just like, what do you mean? Why am I doing that? You're doing that too. And he's like, but I didn't do anything. I'm like, yes, you are. If you don't want me to do that, then stop looking at me like that. And so then he was just like, he was so mad, but he couldn't do anything, obviously. And so then, and I was standing my ground just looking at him. And then, whatever, he left. And then Melly and her tia were just like, what happened? Like, what? And I was just like, he's mad because I stuck the middle finger up at him. And they're just like, oh, we thought he was like your friend or something because you didn't look scared. And I was just like, no, I'm fucking scared. Like, this guy will probably fucking kill me in the next 2 hours when this concert's over. But, I mean, I was just mad. And Sebas was just like, that's fine that you did that. He's like, you just got to be careful because you don't know. And so then, that was like my first time ever doing something like that. So then I was just like, fuck, that is true. I got to be careful. So I've never done that ever again. But when I get mad and I see people looking at me, guys looking at me like that, I'm just like, you know what? Like, I can either let it get to me. Like, unfortunately, like, there's not much I can do about it.
Right. No, but there's also a power behind what you did. Like, you were just straightforward.
Yeah.
And you weren't afraid and you weren't getting away from him. You know what I mean? And the fact that you were upfront automatically, like, scares people.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that you can maintain eye contact and, like, come up in front of somebody really diffuses 99% of issues.
Yeah.
There's barely any people that, like, if they deal with confrontation, they'll, like, go and pounce on that shit.
Yeah.
Like, no. This is like psychopaths. That's pretty much it. And they're such a small percentage of the population.
Yeah.
People like that prey on people that are afraid and weak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if they see you standing your ground, they're just like, oh, this bitch is going to put up a fight. You know what I mean? Like, they get really upset. This real. Betsy was telling me one time when she was on her way to work, she stopped by, like, the panaderia to get, like, a cup of coffee and some pan. And some guy was, like, flirting with her from the car. And then she just grabbed her coffee and threw it at him.
Yeah.
In the car.
Good for her.
And then she got the fuck out of there. But she was, like, pissed. Like, so mad. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
You did that, girl?
Good for
Yeah,
her.
you did that, girl? You should throw some coffee at me, dude.
Yeah. No, that happens. I've had a lot of, like, I've gotten very angry at, like, cocineros when I work at restaurants.
Damn.
Because you know how they're just, like,
they're without scruples. They just kind of say whatever the fuck comes to their mind.
Yeah, no filter at all.
Yeah, they're like they're the true psychopaths, the cocineros in kitchens, bro.
No, yeah, they are, and they're just, like, saying, like, such wrong things. Like, I remember there was this one guy that said, like, like he would constantly ask me about like my marriage, right? And I would just answer in like a very general way so that it wasn't like
Too revealing, not too
yeah.
much information is given.
And so then some point they were asking like, oh, if you're not going to school, is your husband going to school? And I'm like, yeah, he's graduating. And they're just like, oh, okay, when he graduates, like he's gonna leave you. And I was just like, fuck you guys. I was just like, you're just saying that because your fucking girlfriends have left you your entire life. And you've never had a relationship that lasted. Because keep in mind, like, I know the background of these guys, right? One of them, both of them have babies. And they don't like their baby mamas, right? Like, they're not in love with them. So it's like, so for me, it
so
was
already
just
in
like,
that context, you have a bias.
yeah, I'm just like, dude, you're just salty because I actually have a good relationship and I'm doing things from your perspective the right way, right? And so then, but you don't want to say that
Because then it makes your way the wrong way.
exactly.
I mean, their way the wrong way. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
So then they're just like, oh yeah, he's gonna leave you because, and I was just like, why would you guys say that? That's like that's disrespectful.
Fucked.
Yeah,
It's fucked.
I was like, don't talk about my relationship.
Yeah,
like that.
don't put that evil on me, dude.
No.
Like, fuck you, bro.
No, and I was just like,
Get a salt and throw it at them. Pah, right in the fucking face.
But yeah, they were just like, no, but it's true because, like, you know, he's going to have a higher education than you, and then he's going to think he's better than you, and then he's just going to leave you because, like, you're not offering what he can, like, you're not offering what he can offer. And I was just like, you guys are fucking, like,
children.
Not even children. They're fucking ancient. Like, we're not in the 1950s. Like, you
were
know
they old guys?
Yeah, they were older. So it's just like, dude, you're like, so you're old. You're thinking old school. Like, you're thinking that my husband's gonna leave me because I don't have an education. Like, no, like that's not it. People don't leave each other for those things anymore.
You're like, you think he's gonna leave me? I'm gonna leave him. He's gonna make bank, and then I'm gonna get half, and then great, dude. And he's taking care of me.
You have no idea.
You have no idea. You don't know my end game, dude.
Yeah. But
yeah, it's wild, man. Yeah, there's something similar too with like parents.
Mm.
You know, like I was hanging out with a good buddy of mine this past weekend with my brother, and we met this guy, and apparently he's got like a 7-year-old as well. But there he was hanging out with this baby mama, and like he is so fucking unhappy that he has a kid. Like he thinks it's just like a fucking the bane of his existence. Yeah. And we would kind of like try to talk. My brother and I would try to like talk to him about kids. He's like, no, I fucking hate kids. Like they're the worst. I'm just counting off the days until he's 18. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like this kid is just like. So I was like, well, who's babysitting the kid right now? Because like him and his baby mama were there. And I was just like, this is not good. And some people have like these antiquated ideas of what it is to be a parent, and you know, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's like neglect.
Like, poor baby.
Yeah,
like,
they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything to deserve that.
Yeah,
you know?
like.
Yeah, they smell and they scream. Yeah.
Wear a condom. Plan B. We talked about it.
Plan B, dude. You got money. Get a plan B. Everybody got $50 now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that's fucking crazy, dude. No, I can't imagine that, like, somebody leaving their, like, just not loving their child. Like, how do you not love part of you? You know? I mean, I guess because you don't love yourself,
you just
right?
kind of answered your own question. I was thinking about all the parts that I don't love.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're right.
Sometimes those parts just kind of... Yeah, well, that's the thing I always tell people when they're going to be new parents. I'm like, if you got, like, some real deep traumas and shit like that, work through them.
Yeah.
Work through them because you're going to see it. You're gonna see how your kid is and how they interact, and you're just like, okay, I gotta deal with that. Damn. You know, and you can and you know, and what's beautiful about people is that you're not doomed to repeat your history, right? Like you can be terribly abused your whole life and then have children who are raised in a safe environment that you would refuse to ever let anything negative happen to them. But what I mean is, deal with your trauma because it'll affect you. Mm-hmm. And then even if you're trying to do the right thing, sometimes the right thing that you're doing is based out of fear, you know? And so it always ends up being the wrong thing later.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I don't want my kids to get abused like I did at this place when I was a kid. So now my son can never go to that place. And so it's like, yeah, you're doing the right thing by protecting them from that environment. But at the same time, it's just like you're keeping them close and you're not allowing them to ever grow. You know, so it's a very delicate balance.
Yeah.
So you have to work through it and understand there's good things and bad things in life, and finding that nice balance.
Yeah. I think it's like also, I mean, I'm sure like you and Betsy went through this when you guys first got married, and I think more when you had Gadiel, but like being a team and everything, like being on the same page, so that's
still hard.
Because I know it's like, because I think like for me, what would hurt me the most is if we both agreed on something, and then Tavaz was just like, well, Jesse wants to do that, that's why we're not doing it. You know?
I think we all are guilty of that.
Yeah.
I think I'm guilty of that. I think Betsy's guilty of that. But it is like coming into a consensus. I know that Betsy expressed to me some frustrations towards me about how she felt like the kids don't take her seriously. It isn't until I kind of come in and say, no, this is what we're doing, that the kids understand, oh, okay, no, yeah, okay, then my parents are serious because Dad said so. So we had to really work on making sure that if I still have to work on it too, that if Betsy says something or even something I disagree with, I have to have good faith in knowing that she's out there doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Even if it's something that I disagree with. So like there's that as well, like just finding how to go about speaking to each other, how to go about disciplining, and even if you disagree, what's the word?
Yeah.
You know, like Betsy's really good at, like, if she disagrees with something that I had done or something I'd said, she'll come to me later. Me, I'm kind of, but that's her personality. She kind of like takes things and then thinks about them and is very deliberate about her words. I'm kind of more off the top of my head, and if I feel something, I kind of say it. And so I've been learning to refrain. Like yesterday, right? There was an interaction that she had with Gadiel, and I was like, I got tense because I didn't like the way that she was talking to him at first. But then I kind of like took it easy, focused more on Rocio. Like we were walking, leaving the house, and then like literally 10 seconds later, here she is like doing what I would have done, which is like going up to Gadiel and then explaining why, you know. But she kind of like took a second to calm down and then did it, you know. And so like she knew and I knew, but if I would have jumped in before she had that time to, that 10 seconds, right, to like, okay, refocus and reshift that energy and try to making it a positive situation, I would have stifled her from doing that, and my son would have just understand the power dynamics of something else. And then Betsy also doesn't have an opportunity to do the right thing, right? Or not even, because like expressing a frustration I don't think is always wrong, but like she adjusted and she did it, and she knew what was the right way to go about things. But if I denied that from her, that's that's a lot of frustration on her, like for her, you know, and then it really messes up the way the kids see us. Yeah. You know, so I would advise any parents out there just to make sure that, or future parents, like really, develop that consensus. Yeah. Talk about those things now, you know, so that there won't be any issues. Yeah. And there still will be issues, but at least you'll have a guideline, like how to go about it, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, something that we both agreed on. Yeah. Hey, you didn't do this. Yeah. Like we agreed. Is this still what we're trying to do? Or should we adjust it? Because now that we're in it, we know that it's different than what we thought. You know what I mean? And so as long as there's like a guideline and expectations, it really does help end arguments. Yeah. Because sometimes arguments just kind of carry on, especially if there's no expectation set, and then it's just about feelings.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
That's so true.
Yeah, dude.
Dang.
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 Have you watched the Kanye documentary?
It's hard for me to watch that documentary, bro.
Why?
I have a problem with seeing like really supportive mothers, because my mother was not very supportive when I was like doing my thing. and so it's hard for
Yeah, it's
me.
like triggering for you.
It's super triggering.
Yeah,
It's
I get
hard
that.
because I was like, of course he's successful because his mother was supporting him. You know, like
Aw, yeah,
and not
yeah.
not even like monetarily, but just like there for
No,
him, and
yeah,
you know,
loved him. Yeah.
like considered him as, you know, like she was considerate to him, and you know, and I see that a lot, how important that is, and so yeah, it's very triggering.
Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah.
I can imagine. That's that. It. Yeah, I never imagined how triggering it would be for you. I forget. Cause I see cause I've only seen the relationship that you've had with your mom when it was well.
Yeah, now, yeah,
Yeah.
now that we've worked on it.
So, like to know like that part of your past is still like very much like a part of you is like that really 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 affected you, which
Yeah.
is like, I mean that for me it like teaches me like, oh shit, like man, like what people go through really does affect that. I mean, I know what I've gone through affects me too, but like to see it in other people is just like, dang, that's crazy, you know? Because sometimes we idolize other people more. Because like I see you as a big brother, so I'm just like, oh, like he's got everything under control, and
Right.
like I know that there's things that you go through, but like for some reason, like I trust that you got it, but it's like it's not always like that. Like you have the same feelings that we all have,
Right,
you know?
right. And it's like the more, and I've learned like the importance of like, as like an older brother figure, because I am an older, I'm the eldest son, right? So like I have very certain like responsibilities and things that are in my personality. I've learned that I, unlike parents, I need to break that illusion in the eyes of my siblings that I'm like, that I have it all figured out.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
because I have that opportunity to do so.
yeah.
You know, I feel like as an older sibling, I had this opportunity to be like, no, I fuck up. That's why I get you.
Yeah.
Right? That's why I understand. That's why you think I have all this wisdom, because I've messed up. You don't have to make these mistakes that I've made.
Yeah.
Right? But I find it fascinating, like you said, like the more you deal with people, the quicker you find these things that they're dealing with, right?
Yeah.
Like I know that if I can spend a whole day with anyone, I will learn so much about them.
Yeah.
You know, like how they work, what's their personality, what is it that they do when they're tired,
Yeah.
when they feel unsafe, when they're super confident. Like how are those differences? You know, like I've been learning a lot about my sister recently now that I've been hanging out with her more. And I remember she's my little sister, right? But over the years, I've kind of understood her as like this really intelligent, really like forward thinking, independent, strong woman. And the other day we were hanging out. We just like went to go get dinner, hang out, talk. And then all of a sudden she wants me to fill her car with gas. Like we were at the gas station. She's like, can you put the gas in my car? And I'm like, what the fuck, you grown ass woman? But she's like, and I was like, gosh, she's still the baby.
Yeah.
All right. Like I forget, like she's still my little sister. You know what I mean? And so we had a conversation where she was like talking to me about having having my parents like start breaking that mindset, because she doesn't want to be the baby in their eyes anymore. But then she would but I was like, girl, you say that, but you like to be the baby.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like you want me to fill up your car with gas like that. Like you like it when I give you a compliment. Hey, Paige, how you doing? You know what I mean? So it's just like, I was like, we have to remember, like, it is a part of you.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the more you spend time with people, the more you learn the realities of who they are. That's why marriage is so fascinating with me.
Yeah.
Like, to me, because like I know so much about my wife, right? And I love her,
Yeah.
and she loves me, and all the bullshit. Like me telling you what I just told you right now about the Kanye documentary.
Yeah.
She's seen the darkest sides of me,
Yeah.
right? And still kisses me on the cheek. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Still gives me besitos.
Yeah. Well, that's what marriage is supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. Hell yeah, dude.
I remember somebody asked me, one of my coworkers asked me, she's like, so how is it being married? And I'm just like, I don't know if this was the right thing to say, but this is what I feel, and it might not be everybody's experience, but I definitely feel like it's been my experience and a lot of other people that I've met. I'm just like, if you feel like your marriage is falling apart within the first year, you're gonna be okay. Like, you're gonna be fine. Like, it might fall apart the first 2 years. It might feel like your relationship is going to shambles. It's not. You're gonna be okay. Like, you're gonna be fine. You guys are just adjusting. It's hard. It's like a hard adjustment, because people don't understand that, like, marriage is like a mental thing. Like, yeah, you can live together. And you can live together, but that's not going to tell you exactly how long you're going to last in a marriage, because marriage is mental. It's a paper. So you're signing something, and it's a commitment that you've done. So it's like, it's not like living together when you have the option to leave at any time.
Right.
In marriage, you don't have that option, and if you do, it comes with consequences that are monetary and like all of these things, right? It comes with a big thing. So it's like, it's not just living together anymore.
It's a promise.
It's a promise, and it's
a
hard
contract.
to keep. It's hard to keep. It's really hard to keep. And so it's a lot of like mental work, because you're just like, and emotional work too, of remembering that you have to choose to want to be with this person every single day of your life. It's a choice. It's not something, because it's you made the choice, and you have to make it daily. And it's not something you're always gonna feel. You're not always gonna feel in love with somebody, and that's okay. Like, you're
what?
not.
I'm just kidding. No,
Yeah, I was like, oh my god. But it's true. You're not always gonna feel in love with people. Like, you're not always with your spouse. You're not always gonna feel in love with your spouse. Like,
that's true.
Sometimes you're gonna be angry at them, and you're not gonna like them one day, and then it's but there's always an underlying love there. But you're not always gonna like them. You're not always gonna want to be with them.
It's always it's a high emotional experience.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can be apathetic towards your partner, and apathy is when like divorce really happens, when you stop caring. But if you care, God, man, those emotions that you jump between like that love, that deep, profound love, and then a hate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm just gonna be real about that, because there are times where I've been so angry at my wife, like feeling like I've just been so like, how could you?
Yeah.
This is over. God, I'm waiting for this moment that I can just leave.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's just like, no, what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah.
And because I feel like, and I don't know if you've experienced this in your relationship, like going back and forth in those emotions, I realize, I'm like, wow, this person, I have a deep connection with them more so than any other person, because no one else can make me feel this way.
Yep.
Right? Like, no one else can make me feel this way. Like, the whole world could reject me, and I won't be as angry as if this person would,
Yeah.
And also, it helps me understand the things that sway me. Right? Like, I understand more. I'm like, damn, that is triggering. I remember I would get in arguments with my wife, and then later I got into an argument with my brother, like after years of being married, I got into an argument with my brother, and he talked to me in a way, and I'm like, my wife doesn't talk to me that way. You are not allowed to talk to me. Like, the person that knows me the most, if they're not going to disrespect me that way, you're not. Like, someone that is not on that level as that person.
Yeah.
So why would I accept it from anyone else?
Yeah.
Where before, if I was growing up, it was my brother and I, and we're all on the same level of understanding. So he would talk shit, and I would talk shit, and it would just like be this whole thing. But as I became married and I understood more of who I was with this person, my life partner, 8 years married now, then here we are, just like, I learned better of like who I am and what sways me.
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful thing.
It is. And
it is that contract. I've heard that like marriage is beautiful because you fuck up so bad. But that person is there promising to be with you forever.
No matter what.
For better or for worse. Right? And so here you are. And what does that do to you? What does that teach you? That teaches you mercy. That teaches you grace. that teaches you like, yo, I don't deserve any of this.
Yeah, at all. Yeah.
All right. And so now I know how to treat others in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Not just my spouse, but like to a lesser extent everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because there are going to be people that let me down. My own kids are going to let me down one day.
Yeah.
You know, one of my kids, we went to the store. Yeah, the kids went to the store with my wife yesterday. They bought something, and then one of the kids went to go buy a gumball. I don't know which kid, because neither of them know, and neither does my wife. And then they left the bag there and walked away. And so no, you know, it's just money, right?
Yeah,
But it was just like, yeah, they let us down. You know what I mean? They in a little microwave, obviously, but I'm still gonna accept them. They are still in the fold. They are under my wing, you know. And I wouldn't understand that if I didn't have anyone showing me that.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
It is. It's a really, really big thing, and I think that's like something. I feel like I definitely rushed into it, and I wouldn't recommend anybody rushing into it. I think you really have to think about marriage that way, but you really don't know until you're in it, like exactly how serious and how much it's going to change you and your entire life. Like, and you have to be prepared for that change. And I think like when you make the decision young, or like not even young, because it doesn't really matter what age you are, but if you make that decision without talking about things first, or without like understanding that like it's forever ever, it's like it gets difficult like right away, because you start like realizing like, oh, like you start processing what you did months after you already did it. And it's bad.
Yo, tell him, Jesse, tell him, bro.
But it's bad. So I'll like tell you guys firsthand, like I don't ever lie about it. I think I rushed into it, and Sebas I think would say the same, you know. So you know, but we had our reasons at the time. Like that was what we chose at the time. And so it's like
what was the other option? Yeah, you know?
Yeah. Did it turn out bad? No, because, you know, like you said, like God will use anything for his glory, you know?
Right.
So even if we weren't supposed to get married at that time, it doesn't matter, because it turned out beautiful at the end. Like right now we're in a really good place, and
that took a minute, right?
Yeah.
Like it takes time to get there.
Yeah.
I
think it's going to be like 4 years, like 4 years married this year. So it's like I have like half.
How old were you when you got married? 19?
I was 20. Sebas was 19. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just like imagine like straight out of high school, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
You're a cradle robber. You stole Sebas.
Yeah.
You're a cougar, dude.
I'm a
Poor Sebas was a pool boy out there cleaning up at your house, dude. Like, hey, young man, come over here real quick. Pobrecito.
Le gustó.
Le gustó, yeah. Because you señora and everything, dude.
Hell no.
No, but you're right. I would say it's so interesting to talk about like those traumas and stuff like that. I've noticed that sometimes if people get married young, they recommend don't get married. Mm-hmm. I would tell my kids never to get married, and it's like one of those things that I feel like no, marriage is beautiful, right?
Yeah,
like,
I wouldn't say don't get married.
No, but I've heard people talk like that. You know, like, oh hell no, I wasn't ready to get married, so I'm not gonna tell my kids ever to get married.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you have to let them know, like, that's when you have to work through that trauma, because that's a fear response,
right?
That's a regret response. So then you're desperate to make sure your kids don't make that mistake.
And then the more they're going to want to do that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's different between like, okay, cool, yeah. Oh, no, I get it. Mm-hmm. These are the pasos. This is what's going to happen, and this is what to expect. And if that's not what's for you, and you don't want to get married, well, this is this is what you can expect on the other way around. Mm-hmm. But as a parent, you have to be aware of those things.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like just hanging out with married people. I like hanging out with single people, because I get to know what their inspirations are. Mm-hmm. You know, like what is it that drives them? Because there's so many single people. And I think especially us as artists, that's primarily, like we said it last week, right? We're the only other married artist couple that we know, right? Like we're the only other people that are at least as young as we are. Yeah. Because I know people that are like in their 40s that are married, but that's just because they've been doing art for 10 years, you know, and then like they can say, okay, let's just it's not gonna happen for
Yeah,
us.
so sad.
So let's get married. Oh man. But there's a reality there.
Yeah.
I think
No,
it's
for
super
sure.
important.
Yeah, I know, like, my mom was, like, she wasn't against me getting married. Obviously, it's like, of course she wanted me to get married, just not at that time. And so she was, like, very, she wasn't telling me, like, not to do it, but then she was also, like, almost, like, warning me, but I felt the tension in her when she was saying, like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, you can wait, like, you don't have to, like, almost, like, doubting
Yeah,
that.
she was just like, you can get married if you want to, and she just like, kept nodding her
Yeah,
head no.
no, yeah.
Don't worry,
And
I support you 100%.
Yeah, and then for Sevas, it was like, it almost felt like after I had processed everything for a couple years, I realized that, like, I made the decision based on, like, a now or never thing, like a now or never mentality.
That's not
It's
necessarily
not
a good
good.
thing.
It's not good. And then also because I felt pressure from everybody to make a decision all the time. Like, for those 3 months before we got married, like, I felt pressure from everybody to make a decision about everything. And so, like, I had my mom like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And then I had Sevas being like, I'll do whatever you want to do. And so it was just like, it felt like it was all on me, and I made the choice thinking like, you know what, hopefully this will get me out of, like, everybody doing it. And so then,
Yeah.
so it's of course it was bad. When you're in the moment, you don't think
No.
that. You're not realizing how the way that you're thinking it. And now I realize, like, oh no, that was a pretty bad mentality that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And I have like you said, like, grace and sympathy for myself at that time, and like I forgive myself for thinking in that way at that time, not making the right choice. But again, like, it turned out okay.
Yeah.
If you're willing to fight through it. Because another
right.
thing is, like, also, like, you start freaking out within the first year, and then you're just like, all right, I want to get divorced. And then you make another decision based off of your feelings.
Yeah, and then you're like desperate.
And then
You're desperate to do something.
And then you never
find
know.
something.
You never know what it would have been. You
Right.
never know what it's gonna be. Like, you just kind of have to push through for a little bit.
I think it really depends on. It counts as this if both.
That's
both
true.
Are pushing through.
You're right.
If you feel like it's only you pushing through,
Yeah.
then it's not. No, it's
No,
not
it's a
going to
waste
work.
of
Get out of there.
time.
Get out of there
Yeah.
because you don't want to be wasting years on your life for someone that's not all equally pushing.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Because I think something I admire about both our partners, both not being artists, by the way.
That's so true.
Married to artists.
Honestly,
They had a big patience.
God bless them.
Yeah, God bless them, because they didn't understand.
Pobrecito, I know, literally.
Don't you realize, woman, I have to express myself?
This is what I do. This is my job.
This is who
my
I
passion.
am. Just take out the garbage. This is like so fucking lazy in the house. Don't you see I'm acting? Yeah, I would say that both partners have to push through, and I know that my wife has fought hard for our relationship.
Yeah,
and
Sebas too.
I know that Sebas has as well. But at the same time, I think what's super, super, super important to always remember is that whatever decision that you make ultimately
Yeah.
can work out if you accept it.
Yeah.
Because I think in limbo, that's when
Yeah.
things
if you
are
don't know
rough.
what you want. Yeah.
And in regards to you when you're young, I think another part of it, and something that I learned when I was growing up, I remember me saying that, I want to do this with my career because I don't like to wake up early. And then my parents straight up said, you don't want to do something. You don't want to set a life goal based on something you don't want to do.
That's so good. Yeah.
And so, like, understanding, like, and I get it where you're coming from, because you just want people to stop bothering you, so I'm going to get married.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's not, I want to get married. That's
I want people to stop bothering me.
I want people to leave me alone.
Yeah.
Right. I'll do anything to get out of that.
Yeah.
And that's where some problems get along, because you're not entirely understanding the situation.
Yep.
I knew that, I want this space. So any cost or anything that I go through to maintain this place, I'm like, no, this is what I wanted.
Yeah.
My kids are like, oh, I don't like going to school because of this reason, and and I'm like, no, that's that's something that you don't like is why you don't like school, but
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with school. It's like, I don't
Yeah.
like waking up early, that's why I don't like school. And I'm like, those are two different things.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't like waking up early, go to bed early and you can
Yeah.
wake up on time and you'll like school
Yeah.
again. But I think that's something that I had to always remember now, even, because sometimes I get desperate to like get out of situations, or desperate to finish something, or and I'm just like, wait a second, that's the wrong, because a negative inspiration for something is always going to let you down later.
Yeah.
Always, 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 always.
Yeah. It's a big conversation, but like it's a good conversation.
It's a good conversation to have.
Yeah, because I don't know. I feel like now, oh my gosh, stomach's growling. Now I feel like more than ever, people are really afraid. I mean, I don't know. You can tell me, but I feel like people are more afraid to settle down now than in the past. I feel like when it was like our parents' generation, like that was kind of like the expectation. So it, like, they were just kind of, all right, cool. Like they're just conforming to like, all right,
Yeah.
kids, marriage.
Yeah,
marriage,
and it was also because, you were surrounded by just your local population. Now with social media, you get a taste of everything around
That's
you,
true.
and you can live vicariously through so many things. And you can assume that there's always something better for you out there.
Yeah.
Or you just get reaffirmed that idea, which is a good idea to have. But I think that people get tempted to fall into the idea of like, not that there's something better for me that I can work on internally, but there's something better out there to help me escape from what I'm dealing with now.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why people are afraid to settle down, because that person's not perfect. So they can't help me escape out of this situation, as opposed to them pulling themselves out. It's the same reasons why I felt like we got married, because I know that I got married young because I didn't have a stable home. I didn't have a stable life. So I thought to myself, well, I'm going to make a stable life for myself.
That was kind of my reason.
Yeah,
too,
and I thought to myself, this person's got it figured out, so they're going to help me get to that point.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, it should have been, I'm going to get myself to that point, and I'm going to bring this person who I love with me.
Yeah.
Because then the expectations are set that this person's up here and I'm over here.
Yeah.
And then when they're a human, and I'm like, what?
How dare you?
Yeah, how dare you have flaws?
Dare you feel?
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm all disappointed. Yeah, but I think that's why people are afraid to get married.
Yeah.
I think that's why.
Yeah, because I see a lot of that, like, on TikTok and Instagram. Like, I see a lot, like, on social media, just, like, a lot of just, like, people shaming. Okay, there's people that aren't married shame people that get married or get married young. And then there's people that get married young and they shame, like, the people that aren't married. And it's just, like, shaming of all kinds everywhere. And it's just, like, let people do whatever they want. Like, you guys are just projecting that you guys are not happy with your lives.
We're Americans, dude. We can do whatever we want. If I want to get married young, I can get married young. Yeah, I'm not young anymore, but did you get it?
Well,
sister, it's always a blessing to talk to you.
I know, you too. This is a good conversation
today. It was
today.
a chunky wisdom episode.
I'm so glad. I'm going to grab a lot of clips from this.
Can you name this episode Chunky Wisdom?
Chunky Wisdom? I'm down. Yeah, dude. Imagine. Honestly, yeah, I think... Never mind. I'll talk to you about this afterwards. Peace.
Love you guys.